Hi to everyone. I am Dr. VNS Venkateswara, working as an associate professor in Department of Chemistry, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today, I would like to give the topic on the polymerization and types of the polymerization, including classification of the polymers. So, first of all, we see what are the topics covered in today's session. So first one, definition of the polymers. After that, we see what are the classification of the polymers, including their examples. Next, we discuss about the types of the polymerization, including addition, condensation, and copolymerization with the suitable examples. So first of all, we see what is the definition of a polymer. So polymer is nothing but a poly means many, mer means unit. That means the number of the substance or number of the particles involved in a single molecule. That is nothing but a polymer. So according to Greek language, poly means many and mer means units. So that means the total number of the units involved in a single molecule, that is nothing but a polymer. So based on definition, we understand that polymer is not only a short molecule, it is a long chain molecule. So now we see definition. Polymers can be defined as the large molecules, nothing but large means macro. Macro means what is the meaning? Large. Large means big molecule. So formed by the linkage of the small molecules called monomers. So that means the monomers involved the bond one by one to give a long chain polymer. So that is nothing but a polymer. So polymer means long chain compound. So and the bond involved between the monomers is nothing but a covalent bond. So covalent bond is nothing but a sharing of the electron pairs. For example, if you can take as halogens like chlorine. Chlorine, what happens? What is the atomic number of the chlorine? 17. That means what is the electronic configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s2 and 3p5. So what is the outer electronic configuration? 3s2, 3p5. That means 7 electrons are there in its outermost electronic configuration. It requires one more electron to get octet configuration. That means each chlorine atom shared by 2 electrons to form a covalent bond. So that is nothing but this is the one chlorine atom and this is the another chlorine atom shared by 1 electron pair. So that is nothing but a covalent bond. So such type of the covalent bond observed in the case of the monomers to form a long chain compound, that is nothing but a polymer. So the examples of the polymers is nothing but a polythene. So daily our used one of the most domestic purpose, nothing but polythene bags. So what is the monomer? Ethylene. So what is the formula for ethylene? C2H4. And what is the structure? CH2 double bond CH2. That means when n moles of the ethylene molecule undergoes polymerization to give n moles of the polythene. That means where n represents the degree of the polymerization. Degree of polymerization. So where n represents the total number of the monomers involved in a polymer. So now we see what is the monomer. First of all, monomer is nothing but the basic unit of a polymer and it contains bifunctional. Bifunctional means it contains minimum 2 bonds. One is the starting link and the other one is the ending link. That means that the repeated unit of the polymer is called a monomer. The number of the repeating units in a polymer chain is called degree of the polymerization. For example, if 100 molecules of the ethylene polymerize to give polymer chain, the degree of the polymerization should be equal to 100. Okay, so that means the total number of the monomers involved in the polymerization of this polymer, nothing but polythene, it should be equal to 100. Therefore, small n is equal to 100. Okay, now everybody understand degree of the polymerization. That means the total number of the monomers involved in the polymerization. So now we see classification of the polymers. Polymers cannot be classified under one category because of their complex structures, different behaviors and vast of the applications. So we can therefore classify the polymers based on the following considerations. That means classification of the polymers based on the source of availability. First of all, the availability of the polymers can be classified according to this. There are 3 types of the classification under this category, namely natural, synthetic and semi-synthetic polymers based on their availability of the polymers. So first of all, we see natural polymers. That means the polymers obtained naturally or they are coming directly from nature. That means they occur naturally and are found in plants and animals. That means from the living organisms, either by plants or animals. That means for example, proteins, starch, cellulose, and rubber. All of these comes under category of the natural polymers because they obtain naturally. That means to add up, we also have biodegradable polymers which are called biopolymers. That means the polymers which are decomposed or degraded biologically, that polymers are called biopolymers. Next one, semi-synthetic polymers. They are derived from naturally occurring polymers and undergo further chemical modification. That means there is some synthetic chemical reactions involved in the natural polymers that are comes under category of the semi-synthetic polymers. Next one, cellulose, nitrose. Cellulose state comes under category of the semi-synthetic polymers. Finally, synthetic polymers. These are purely man-made polymers. That means plastic is the most common and widely used synthetic polymer. It is used in industries, various dairy products. What are the examples of synthetic polymers? Nylon 66 and polyesters. So again, classification of the polymers based on the structure of the monomer chain. Already we discussed about monomer is nothing but the basic unit of the polymer or repeating unit of the polymer. So this category has the following classification. First one, linear polymers. That means the structure of the polymers containing long and straight chains fall into this category. The example for a linear polymer is nothing but PVC. PVC means polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride. That means polyvinyl chloride is largely used for making pipes and electrical cables, is an example of a linear polymer. So next one, second category based on monomer unit, branched chain polymers. When linear chain of polymer from branches, then such polymers are categorized as branched chain polymers. For example, low density polyethylene. So that means initially we see linear chain polymers. Linear chain nothing but a straight chain polymers. There is no branches. Okay, now we see branched chain polymers. That means the linear chain having branches. That means either topward or upward branches. So that is nothing but a branched chain polymers. And finally, cross-linked polymers. That means they are composed of bifunctional and trifunctional monomers, and they have a stronger covalent bond in comparison to the other linear polymers. What are the examples? Bakelite and melamine. Already discussed about what is the covalent bond. Covalent bond is nothing but a sharing of the electron pairs by the two atoms. That means it is cross-linked bond. So cross-linked means the linear chain containing the branches previously either upward or downward we observed, but in the cross-linked chain we observed both upward and downward. So that means each atom having either trifunctional or tetrafunctional polymers. That means cross-linked chain. That means it contains both horizontally and vertically bonds. So that is nothing but cross-linked polymers. So comparing previous linear chain and branched chain polymers, these cross-linked chain polymers are highly stable because of its chain structure. Now, otherwise, the classification based on the polymerization. Mainly, these are two types: addition polymerization and condensation polymerization. Now, by taking addition polymers are polythene, Teflon, polyvinyl chloride comes under category of the addition polymerization. And for condensation polymerization, nylon 66, perlin, and polyesters comes under category of the condensation polymerization. After that, we see based on the monomers. So the type of the monomers involved in the polymer chain, these are mainly classified into two types. One is homomer, second one is the heteromer. From the title you can understand homomer means from the starting of the chain to ending of the chain, the same monomer repeated as a unit. So heteromer means from the starting of the chain to ending of the chain, the different monomers acts as a repeating units. So that means in the homomer, a single type of the monomer unit is present, for example, polythene. So that means from the starting of the chain to ending of the chain, only ethylene is a monomer. Heteromer or copolymer nothing but it consists of a different type of the monomeric units. For example, nylon 66. So in nylon 66, what are the monomers involved? Adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. Adipic acid is one of the monomer, and the second monomer is hexamethylene diamine. Hexamethylene diamine. So that means there are two monomers involved in the polymerization of this polymer, nothing but nylon 6,6. That's why this is comes under category of the heteromer or copolymer. Next one, classification based on the molecular forces. There are mainly four types: elastomers, fibers, thermoplastics, and thermosetting polymers. So first one we see elastomers. Elastomers means, first of all, what is the meaning of the elastomer? The substance comes to its original shape after removal of the applied stress. The substance comes to its original shape after removal of the applied stress. So that means it will be either bending and stretching facilities. That means there are rubber-like solids, weak interaction forces are present. That means weak van der Waals interactions present in these forces. What is the example? Rubber. And second one, fibers. Strong, tough, high tensile strength and strong forces of the interactions are present. For example, nylon 6,6. In our domestic purpose, we use the fiber chairs. That is also comes under category of the one of the polymer. And thermoplastics. So from the title, the plastics are based on the heat. That means clearly it is defined as soft on heating and stiff on cooling. Soft on heating and stiff on cooling. So that is nothing but thermoplastics. That means these are intermediate forces of the attraction. So for example, polyvinyl chloride and thermosetting polymers. So from the title we can understand that these are stiff on heating, but further there is no change on cooling. Once they can fix its structure, there is no change even for heating or cooling takes place. That is nothing but a thermoset. That means by heating, the structure of the polymer can be setting takes place. That's why these are called as thermosetting polymers. That means these polymers greatly improve the material's mechanical properties. It provides enhanced chemical and heat resistance. That means what are the examples? Phenolics, epoxies, and silicones comes under category of the thermosetting polymers. So this is about the classification of the polymers based on various categories. Next, we see types of the polymerization. So first type nothing but addition polymerization. So this polymerization is also called as chain growth polymerization. Chain growth polymerization. That means it involves the improving of the length of the chain of the polymers. So that is nothing but a chain growth polymerization. So in this smaller monomer units joined to form a giant polymer. So giant polymers means big polymers. In each step, length of the chain increases. That means it involves the mainly three steps: initiation, propagation, and termination steps. So at initiation, the monomer units comes closer to form a molecule. Starting takes place. And the second one, propagation. Propagation step involves the improving the chain length. And third one, nothing but termination. In termination step, the unwanted products can be eliminated. So that is nothing but a termination step. So that means it involves mainly initiation, propagation, and termination steps. That's why these are called as a chain growth polymerization. And what are the examples comes under category of the addition polymerization? Nothing but polyethene. That means polymerization of the ethane in the presence of a peroxides. And the next one, condensation polymerization. So what is the difference between the addition and condensation? In the addition polymerization, there is no byproducts are formed. Only it is concentrated on main product. But in condensation polymerization, there is a possibility to give the formation of byproducts, including main product. So that is the main difference between the addition and condensation polymerization. That means in this type, small molecules like water, carbon monoxide, and ammonia are eliminated during the polymerization. So, and it is also called as step growth polymerization. That means generally organic compounds containing bifunctional groups such as iols, diols, diamines, dicarboxylic acids undergo this type of the polymerization reaction. What is the meaning of the bifunctional? That means the monomer containing the minimum 2 bonds. That is nothing but bifunctional. So what is the example comes under category of the condensation polymerization? Nothing but nylon 6,6. It is one of the best example for a condensation polymer. and last one nothing but co-polymerization. So co-polymerization means in this process two different monomers joined to form a polymer. That means the initially two monomers are involved to give a long chain polymers. The total carbon atoms present in two monomers involved in the polymerization to give long chain polymer. So for example, Buna S, that means this is also called as SBR, styrene butadiene rubber, and GRS, government rubber styrene, and Buna S. So this is nothing but a Buna means it involves the monomers nothing but butadiene and styrene, butadiene and styrene. This is also involved to give a condensation polymer Buna S. That means synthetic rubbers are prepared by this polymerization. Nothing but Buna S is one of the best example for a co-polymerization. Now we see the monomers 1,3-butadiene plus styrene to give Buna S. So with the structure of styrene and butadiene, so first one 1,3-butadiene 1, 2, 3, 4. That means buta means 4 carbons, and diene means at first carbon and third carbon double bonds are present in. That means first carbon and third carbon 1,3-butadiene. And as per the carbon valency, the hydrogens involved 2 hydrogens and 1 hydrogen and 1 hydrogen and 2 hydrogens. So this is the structure for 1,3-butadiene. And styrene. So styrene means it involves the vinyl functional group. That means CH double bond CH2. CH double bond CH2. Okay, so this is the structure for styrene. So now it involves to give a long chain polymer. That means totally it contains 4 carbons. It contains 2 carbons with ring. So that means the 6 carbons involved to give a Buna. Yes. Now we see the structure. For example, N moles of the 1,3-butadiene and N moles of the styrene undergoes polymerization to give styrene. That means CH2, CH, double bond CH, single bond CH2, and single bond CH, single bond CH2, and there is a ring. So that means N moles of the 1,3-butadiene, N moles of the styrene undergoes copolymerization to give Buna. Yes, that means where N represents the degree of the polymerization. That means at each carbon it satisfies the valency of the carbon. We see 4 valency for this carbon, for this carbon, for this carbon, for this carbon, for this carbon also 4, for this carbon also 4. That means at each carbon we satisfy the valency of the carbon involved the chemical reactions in polymerization. So that is very, very important point. Okay, now everybody understand the co-polymerization and its example. So this is about the types of the polymerization, including their suitable examples. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.